Welcome to the Dennis and Judy Show on demand. Thanks to our sponsor, Value City NJ, with 9 locations in New Jersey or online at valuecitynj.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you'll never miss a minute. New Jersey 101.5.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Listen, Parks Casino and Sportsbook, New Jersey, chime time. It's 10:09. It's Dennis and Judy Show. I'm Dennis Malloy.
I'm Judy Franco. Nice of you to come to the microphone, Dennis. So my husband was replaying some of yesterday's show because I gave a shout out to one of the people he works with.
Oh, right.
And we're like...
Levy, right?
Levy, yeah. So the funny thing is he's playing it back for me. He's like, oh, you got to hear it. It was so cute. I turn it on. It's freaking 45 minutes until you start talking. And I'm like, is this a joke? And I realize we do this every day. Like, because we're like, yeah, so anyway, Kyle, thanks for telling me.
Relax. It rarely happens, and sometimes it's 5 seconds.
Every day. Every day.
It rarely happens, and sometimes it's
Every
5
day.
seconds.
I said every day.
Are you going to be this bitchy all day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Seems that way.
You got up a little early this morning.
3:30. But who's counting?
Thought it was 3.
It was really 3:20 or 3:18, and I kept looking at the ceiling because I have that clock that projects onto the ceiling.
That's got to be the worst thing in the world.
Worst thing in the world. Worst.
I mean, it's good. You don't have to get out and lean over and look at the alarm clock.
Yeah, but it's torture.
Yeah.
And by the way, they tell you people who have trouble sleeping.
Yeah, don't
like
do this.
Every sleep expert is like, do not even have a clock in the room. Not only do I have a clock in the room, but it's projected like a first-run movie theater in front of me. It's
like a movie
ridiculous.
premiere.
But the thing is, I need it because otherwise I'm like, I get depressed because I'm like, okay, God, I know I slept a lot. It's almost morning. And I look up and it's like 1:20.
Oh, God. The worst. All right. So here's the situation. There's a new drug on the streets.
Okay.
A zombie drug.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
Called xylazine. And they used it. It's an animal tranquilizer, but they tried it on humans as a test for hypertension or something. And it just made people too drowsy.
Okay.
So the druggies are like, okay, get me some. So they're mixing the fentanyl. Apparently fentanyl gives you a crazy quick high, but it doesn't last. You add the xylazine into it, and then you get the crazy high longer. Now,
so
you and I are both from the I don't want to be high and out of control group. So thank God for that. Are most people like us, or most people like, yeah, get me high?
I don't know, because sometimes people tell me when I'm like, oh no, I feel like, even when I'm drunk, not that I'm drunk that often, but if I've ever been drunk like 3 times in my life, and I'm always like, oh, I hate this feeling. Like, I don't want to be out of control. And people go, why? Like, enjoy it. And I'm like, no, it's not enjoyable. But at the same time, like, my husband did a total knee replacement, and he had fentanyl patches, and he wore them every day for 2 or 3 months. And then when he had to take them off, he was, crazy. He was crawling out of his skin, jumping out of bed at night. Like, it was like horrible to get rid of it. And he's a person who enjoys, or at one time enjoyed,
the feeling.
So I think fentanyl is so different and so powerful. You got to love that specific feeling of just being obliterated. You and I have never felt that.
No, we can't. I can't deal with it. And you know what?
Like, you ever see a person who shoots up heroin in a TV show and their eyes roll back in their head and they fall back on the couch? That's what I imagine it is.
I don't even want to imagine. So, and part of me is like, I wish I had the capacity to get, drink 8 beers or 6 drinks and get drunk and go, hey, we're drinking today. Or shoot up or drop acid or whatever. And I can't do any of it. Were you ever involved in the drug world? And maybe
Involved is the best, by the way.
That's what happens when you take too much fentanyl, which I had in my coffee this morning.
No, but like, isn't that such a good word? Like, I cannot get over it.
Involved?
Like, if you're involved in something, you're sort of immersed in it. But if you're involved,
this is going to be all day, right? All right. So, were you ever involved in the drug world, or perhaps you still are? Tell us about that.
By the way, this is going to be all day is probably the best answer ever.
Is this going to be all day? Just like when you're a kid in class and the teacher's like, all right, write these 7 things on the board. And then we're going to, is this going to be all day with the teaching and the quizzing? So were you ever involved in the drug world? Perhaps you are now. Tell us about what you've seen and experienced. 1-800-283-1015.
Are we including weed, Dennis? Because like everybody's
why not?
involved in that world now.
That's been decriminalized or legalized. And maybe, remember a couple of weeks ago we asked people, because somebody called during a weed hour, did you ever like OD on weed? And people called and said, yeah. Did a lot, remember? That people got really...
I must not have been very involved in that hour. Because
this is going to be all day. I can see it.
No, just part of the day. But I thought we did, like, have you ever been on a trip?
We did that, but we also, people said they flipped out or OD'd on weed, and we talked to people that OD'd on, like, smoked too much weed.
Like where it wasn't good.
Right. So, were you ever involved in the drug world? And if that includes, ODing and or seeing people OD.
And what was your actual involvement? No, I'm sorry. And we'll include all of it. And is it something like such a great feeling that you could get like sucked into it, or was it really bad to begin with and that's what got you out of it? 1-800-283-101.5. You should be thanking your lucky stars at this point, if that's what happened.
I see them talk to drug addicts or whatever on the street, in Kensington and Philly. It's sad. They talk to the guy, I've been out on the street about 18 months now. And he's not worried about car insurance. He doesn't worry about mortgage. He doesn't have to read one of Sam's 3-page memos in an email.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, he's doing all right.
I cannot.
Sam is our new boss.
I can't breathe. This is the funny thing. Though.
Sam is our new boss, who's great personality, good guy, has a ton of knowledge. The problem is he wants to give it to you all in one sitting.
And daily.
And
what
hourly.
I was thinking is, by the way, he should maybe be a drug counselor. Can I tell you why? How quick would you get off drugs if he was your drug counselor in rehab, right?
Well, he's very believable and very likable.
He is, but let's just say, like, they're like, okay, 10 o'clock, it's your meeting with Sam, your drug counselor. How quick are you off drugs?
Well, by the time your counseling session is over, you've already missed 4 opportunities to shoot up. And you're already through the withdrawal by the time the meeting's over. Now we're in big trouble. All right. So were you ever involved in the drug world?
I don't even get his email. I must not be on his mailing list. Did he send an email today?
No, he's on vacation this week. That's why we can speak ill of him.
I know that. No. Yeah, but somebody get the audio from this. We got to send it to him, please.
All right, so
he could be curing people of their drug addiction.
It's true. Put that talent to use. You and I are going to be on the. He's like, yeah. Do we have have somebody in Spokane, like a male-female duo that can jump in middays in Jersey? Because I've had it with these two. All right.
Oh my God. The next long meeting we're going to have is at the unemployment office. You know that.
It'll be our exit interview. So, have you ever been involved in the drug world? And
Poor Sam.
what part of it did you play? Were you an addict? Were you a dealer? Were you a drug counselor? Were you related to somebody who was in it?
It is a fake name, by the way, if you want to, because
Yeah.
a lot of people are. I mean, isn't the whole thing, anonymous?
And if you ever did have a bad trip on whatever it was, mescaline, acid, fentanyl, heroin, 1-800-283-1015 is a phone number. I used to think when I was growing up, like heroin was like, it's like in the inner city. And,
Yeah, now you know it's like every high school.
they used to call our high school Heroin High, not the one I went to, the one my kids went to.
That's
For a
scary.
while, it was called Heroin High. What? In the suburbs? In the squeaky clean suburbs? Yeah.
Hard to believe.
So your involvement with it, 1-800-283-1015 is a phone number. Still got a message on the app chat saying, joking about drugs, my son died of drug overdose. And we're not joking about drugs, joking about our boss. But, okay, I understand the sensitivity if you did actually lose someone to a drug overdose, of course. That's why we're talking about
Then again, you could only laugh about the emails from Sam if you've actually experienced it.
right.
It's a very sensitive subject to a lot of people too. You ever try to get through one of those?
Oh, it took me all
There's
weekend.
a support group. Town Square Media gives a support group once a week.
One of their master classes online.
They have those. By the way, I'm sure some people attend those
Yeah.
because they have them a lot. But occasionally they'll have one like, why fruits and vegetables are good for you. And I'm like, who is attending that? Like, I just want the names of the people in our wonderful company who are on the fruits and vegetables meeting. I just need to know.
I want to be one of their consultants that gives these talks. All
Can
right.
you imagine?
So, have you ever been involved in the drug world, or perhaps you are now? There is a dangerous drug going around called xylazine, and it is a horse or an animal tranquilizer that they tested on humans for some conditions, but it turned out it was too powerful and made people too drowsy, so they stopped it. Were you ever involved in the drug world? Addicted? You're a counselor. You had somebody in your family that was going through it, and it is painful, torturous, and a lot more people. You'd be surprised how many people are involved in it or get caught up in it. And if you go down the street in Kensington and Philly, it's a section of Philadelphia that's always been kind of hard scrabble, blue collar, and now it's just zombie land. People from all over the world go there, Judy, to take YouTube videos to post them on YouTube.
You're kidding me.
No, all over the world, and they, because you walk down the street, or some people drive down, and block after block of people who are like The Walking Dead, dead on their feet, and you wonder, how does a person get to the point where you're there? Men, and it's sadder to see women too.
Yeah, that is. I don't know why it's sadder. Why is it sadder?
I don't know. I mean,
I think for you, it's probably because, damsel in distress,
Right.
and men, you are programmed to protect women, the weaker sex,
Right.
that whole thing.
That's why I have a tough time watching women boxing or women fighting, MMA fight. Oh, my God.
Right.
That's horrible. Anyway, if your involvement in the drug world, were you ever involved in it either as a dealer, a user, an addict, a friend of an addict, a counselor? And if you ever had a bad trip, we talked about this a few weeks ago, when people had a really bad trip on weed, which shocked us.
We didn't know it was possible, but people have. So 1-800-283-101.5 is our phone number. Your brushes with the drug world. I guess we should say thank God neither one of us had the opportunity really to flirt with it. I had friends who did, and I remember I had an English teacher who was a whack job. I've spoken about her before in the air. Anybody who went to Asbury Park High School knew her. And she actually said the first day of class, I want everybody to write on a piece of paper all the drugs that they've tried. It was junior year, and then hand it in anonymously. And so I was like,
What was her point?
She was just crazy. She was very into like she was a hippie. She was into the drug culture. She was bipolar. It turned out to be a very crazy, wacky year.
Wow.
She taught rock and roll music in English class. But anyway, I think she wanted to know like which kids she could do it with, maybe.
This was
Which
in
kids
the
she could do drugs
70s, 80s?
Yeah, 70s. Anyway, I remember taking a piece of paper and not writing anything and then folding it up like I'm going to hand it in. And then I said, wait, I better write something because she's going to know I'm the only one who didn't do any drugs. And I wanted to be totally anonymous.
So what did you write down?
So I wrote down a couple of drugs that I heard of. And then
marijuana?
Because I knew I'd be the only one in the class that hadn't tried drugs. So it was going to be obvious that it was me and then she was going to like pick on me somehow, you know?
And did she ever call on you for your...
No, I think she really literally just wanted to see which kids she could do drugs with or talk about drugs with in the class.
I'm curious what you put down. You put Bufferin down?
I'll never forget what I put.
Bufferin?
But I'll tell you at the break. It's embarrassing.
Contact? Remember Contact? The tiny time pills? So the quickly growing threat... Tristan, yeah. A quickly growing threat within the New Jersey opioid crisis is a drug that's not an opioid and not meant for human use. It's known as the zombie drug, xylazine, Xylazine, is increasing in prevalence in New Jersey drug supply. The drug, which is widely used as an animal tranquilizer, was originally tested in humans as an antihypertensive. Antihypertensive is a blood pressure medication?
I think so, yeah. But Dennis didn't...
But
I'm sorry.
It couldn't move ahead because of its sedating effect. What was
but didn't ketamine start out to be something else? And now people use it for... Ketamine was a horse tranquilizer. Then it became a party drug, Special K.
What was the...
and now people use it for
and Quaaludes were used for something else, and then it became like
it was a tranquilizer.
Quaaludes?
Yeah.
And then it became the sexy drug.
Yeah.
Anyway, be on the lookout. Xylazine is out there on the streets, and it turns you into a zombie.
Ask your doctor about xylazine.
That's every drug. Ask your doctor about every drug.
No, they don't even say doctor anymore, Dennis.
Healthcare
you can't
provider?
ask a doctor. Yeah. You can't ask a doctor.
Right. There aren't our doctors.
Yeah.
We chased them all out of New Jersey. Like St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland.
Yeah.
The state of New Jersey and its insurance companies drove the doctors out of
The
New
whole
Jersey.
country.
Crazy. All right. 10:30, New Jersey 101.5. So we're talking about drugs. There is a new zombie drug on the streets in New Jersey called Xylazine. It's an animal tranquilizer that was tested on humans for hypertensive purposes, anti-hypertension, but it made people too drowsy. So they took it off. They never offered it on the market for that. So we thought we'd ask you, if there are street drugs, well, now weed is not a street drug, but it was for the longest time, and people say, I swore by it because it helps me with my migraines, it helps me fall asleep. What street drug, and or specifically weed, which is now illegal, does it help you with? What is it? What do you use it for?
1-800-283-101.5.
I think most of our audience, like the majority of our audience, 50-50, high or medicinal.
Well, the other thing is you don't really get a real answer from people because a lot of people go, well, I've suffered from anxiety my whole life, but also you're high and you like it. Or people, I really can't sleep at night, but also you're high and you like it. But Crohn's is a big one for some reason. I don't know why that disease has so many symptoms that are either cured or at least lessened from weed. Anxiety for sure. A lot of our listeners take it for anxiety.
Let's talk to this guy.
Yeah, let me just say really quick before we take John. Hang on, John. Somebody wrote before, you guys joking about drugs. My son died from fentanyl. Well, of course, we're not joking about drugs. We were joking about our boss who sends very long emails after the drug conversation.
But we understand your sensitivity, and certainly
be sensitive. We get it. and then somebody else right after that, and God bless you, Steve. How can you joke about drugs and not offer any?
Good point,
And then, you guys wanted to know the drugs. I said I did. Okay, I'm going to write the three.
When your teacher asked, write down the drugs you've used back in high
and
school.
I had to lie and say I did drugs because I knew I would be the only person with a blank page, and then she would know it was me. So I wrote the 3 drugs that I ever knew anybody who did,
Right.
which was pot, coke, and lewds.
Okay, but what our listeners wrote on the app chat.
Judy wrote mercurochrome and snickered.
All right, so let's talk to grumpy old John in Monroe
love
Township.
Greg.
Hello, John.
Hi, John.
Grumpy.
No?
I was a policeman for 32 years.
Oh, thank you for your
I
service.
was a policeman when we did not give drug addicts anything. If they overdosed, they overdosed. You are talking about the least productive people in our society.
Correct.
All right? And they really don't deserve any help because this is self-inflicted. Nobody put a gun to their head and told them to start using.
There's one way I will agree with John about this, Dennis,
Yeah.
and that is when people call it a disease. It
yeah.
really irks me.
That's a big debate. And a lot of people involved
I
in it
don't
or
think
have
it's
family.
a big debate. I think
Well,
I'm the only person who will say it's
no,
not
I
a
agree
disease.
with you, but a lot of people whose family members are caught up in it will say it runs in my family and it is a disease. So you can make a case for it being a disease, but basically it's a choice. You made a choice at one point to get high and to accelerate into the next level, and there you
Yeah.
go.
I really feel that.
John, thank you for serving our community as a police officer, and stay
I
well.
didn't serve your community. I was a policeman in New York City.
Well, I'm in our community at large, and listen, whatever the
So
thing.
that society is, I think, what you meant.
Yes.
See, the problem I look at is that
This is going to be like one of Sam's memos.
Narcan to drug addicts so that they come back from
Why
being
is that?
overdosed.
And they do it again and again. John, here's the problem as well.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
and they give it
I
to
don't
them
think
for
you
nothing.
should.
Oh, you can just
involved.
walk into a drugstore right now and say, give me Narcan, and they give it to you because, oh, my brother's ODing or whatever, he's a drug addict. And you walk in, they give it to you for free.
Right. And people who do not do things, take a diabetic. All right? A diabetic has to have insulin.
Right.
Right.
All right? Do you know how much insulin costs?
A lot.
Right. And that they don't give you for free. And people who are insulin dependent didn't want to be.
Right. No, I get your point. It's so
I got his
totally
point,
unfair
too.
and the world's upside down, John, as you know. You've been around long enough to see that. We got to run on
I
to
think
the
they
next caller.
may pay for that
But thank you.
abortion pill in some
States?
states, or they're fighting for that to be paid.
Sean is in Hamilton. You're on New Jersey 101.5. Hi, Sean.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm just calling up to rebuttal about what that stinking moron idiot that you were just talking to had so much to say about he knows everything.
Right.
He's a moron and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, all right. I like friendly discourse. This is good. So go ahead. It's a disease, you're saying.
son
Yeah.
Was a sports star in college.
Right.
He got injured his shoulder, got sent to a doctor, was put on some pain medication and drugs after a surgery. After a while, it didn't take care of the pain anymore, so he went out and found something else. So it wasn't his choice. So that moron could take back what he said because he has no idea what he's talking about.
But Sean, I'm going to push back. Not everybody
I
who
would
has
push back this guy. He's scary.
everybody who's had shoulder surgery. I've had back surgery and the pain was horrible. And
How about my husband with the total knee replacement
Right.
and the
and after a while, you make a choice not to accelerate and go to the next level.
it's difficult.
Fight
It
through the
could be
pain.
very
Yeah.
difficult.
So there's, somebody like yourself who saw it up close and personal. will say, well, it's a disease. And other people say, no, it's a choice.
It still starts with a decision, unlike other diseases like cancer, which do not start as a decision.
No. Diabetes could start as a decision as well if it's type 2. But, Sean, I'm sorry about is he okay now?
No, he's dead.
No, he passed away.
Passed away. Yeah. All right. Sorry for your loss, Sean. Appreciate the call.
And, of course, we can't expect him to. Once somebody dies from it, Dennis, nobody's going to see my side of the argument. But I will argue this is a hill I will die on for the rest of my life because I have a very close family member who was addicted to pretty much every drug on the planet and then one day said, I'm not doing this anymore, and then had a surgery that required every narcotic in the book and didn't go back.
All right. You want to talk to
If that
Patrick?
person has a disease, then why didn't he go back?
Something real quick. Can I say something real quick?
Real quick. Go ahead, Patrick. Go.
Real quick, I think that the disease is mental illness, not being a drug addict. And real quick, to capitalize on his point, my grandpa was 80, fought in the Korean War, World War II, fell off a ladder when he was 75 years old, and these doctors put him on OxyContin, and he didn't have a choice. He didn't want to be a drug addict. And you know what he did? He got addicted because they were prescribing him 240 milligrams of OxyContin a day. That was not his choice. He's a good man, and those doctors are scumbags. That's all I have to say.
All right, Patrick.
Okay,
thank you.
I disagree with you because I think that the OxyContin, while it was an epidemic, and they want to, that family, what's their name, Sackler?
Yeah.
They're dying to vilify this family. But I will tell you one thing: OxyContin helped many more people in the beginning than it harmed. And I will tell you something else, Dennis, that a lot of people need to understand. People got off of OxyContin.
Right.
Not everybody who took a pill became addicted. So stop it, people.
All right. Tommy was an addict. He's clean now. Dying to talk to him. Tommy, don't go away. We want to hear your expertise on this topic. There's a dangerous zombie drug going around New Jersey now called xylazine. It was an animal tranquilizer, and people are mixing it with very, very dangerous fentanyl. So look out. It's just a warning. We have fast traffic in your call coming up. Don't go away. 1044. Dennis Malloy here. And if you're thinking about giving your home's exterior a makeover, you got to check out B&B Siding and Roofing. It's a female-owned business serving New Jersey for over 30 years. And they've transformed more than 5,000 homes. They have style-guided experts, friendly consultants who help you every step of the way in designing your dream exterior. They pride themselves in having superior customer communication and doing quality work. They have financing options available, and they back their work with a lifetime guarantee. There's no high-pressure sales tactics. They've got an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and I know how important honesty and transparency is when it comes to finding the right company to work on your home. B&B Siding and Roofing are the real deal. Get started today online at bbsiding.com. We're talking about drugs this hour. There is a dangerous new drug on the streets in New Jersey called xylazine. It was an animal tranquilizer. They tested it for human use, but abandoned that idea because it made people too drowsy. So drug users are using it now in combination with fentanyl to prolong the high. This fentanyl apparently fades quickly. So we asked, were you ever involved in the drug world? Let's see what's going on there. You know, bring awareness, as people like to say. But boy, we got all kinds of arguments, which is good. Makes for good radio sometimes. Tommy's in Warren. He was an addict, and he's clean now. Hi, Tommy. Thanks for calling in.
Hello, Dennis. How you doing, pal?
Good. How are you?
Judy. I'm great. Doing great. But I could tell you, I got a little upset with that one cop from New York talking about, people deserve to die and they're hooked on this stuff. Let me tell you something. I was a successful businessman most of my life. I'm 69. 20 years ago, I got hurt in a horse accident, and I got addicted, okay? Pain management doctor I went to. I didn't know. I never even smoked cigarettes or alcohol. Never drank nothing.
Wow.
I went to pain management. Guy gave me 180 Percocet 10s and 80 OxyContins a month. It was giving me, like take 4 a day or whatever, 4 as prescribed every 4 hours. So I'm taking them. I had 5 broken ribs, 4 herniated discs in my lower back, and they took my spleen out.
Wow.
I ruptured my spleen.
You fell off a horse? You got trampled?
Horse and carriage. Yeah, in the Memorial Day Parade, 2004.
Oh, man.
When he said horse and carriage, I'm like, you're not that old. horse and carriage.
well,
In a
then.
parade.
In a parade.
Yeah.
I used to ride the kids around the street.
Right.
Oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you.
Horrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, you live and learn, right? Of course,
Right.
you need to learn. Anyway, long story short, I had 4 businesses active, making good money in the electronics business, auto electronics, and unfortunately, with the bad economy, 2008-9, and my addiction, I ended up going bad and losing all my businesses and a lot of my classic cars and a lot of other things and marriage.
How long have you been clean? How long have you been clean?
I've been clean over 3-4 years now.
All right. And have you been able to rebound
Oh,
business-wise?
yeah.
Good.
I'm getting back. I'm on a job right now. But just to say, believe me, and I was the kind of guy I'll never take nothing. When I got hooked, I was like, I'll 6 months. Once my ribs heal, I'll just stop.
Right.
Well, after 6 months, it was one more. I'm
Right, of
shaking,
course.
sweating, nervous, anxiety. I was like, one more.
This
one
happens
more.
to so many people after an injury.
And this is just exactly what happened to me, honest to God. And I just couldn't stop. I was trying to hide it from my wife and the kids. And, I got to do it. And it whacked me out, messed me up bad. And, again, it's not something that you want to put upon yourself, but this just happens to people. And I'm a prime example.
Yeah. All right. Tommy, I'm glad you're back on your feet. Keep plugging away there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I keep punching, pal. I still box. I train fighters. Yes, I'm in good shape. I do 120 push-ups a day.
We love you. That is awesome. That is good, Tommy. Thank you for sharing that inspiring story. A cautionary tale and inspiring story. And Steve in Cherry Hill, addiction problem with pain and painkillers. I'm sorry we don't have time, Steve, but thanks for trying to chime in. There's a spirited hour. All right.
Spirited is right.
10:55, more of the Dennis and Judy show to come. Don't go away.
As you know, Mike Lindell has a passion to help you get the best sleep of your life. After he invented the world's best pillow, he created the famous Giza Dream Sheets. They're the best sheets you will ever sleep on. The best night's sleep just got even better. And for a limited time, you'll get a queen size set for $59.98, king size just $69.98, the lowest prices in history. Mike and the MyPillow employees continue to be canceled by big box stores and attacked by the media. They appreciate all your great support during these times and want to thank you by giving you the best specials on all their MyPillow products. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com or call 800-315-0584 and use promo code JERSEY. You get the famous Giza Dream Sheets, queen size, for $59.98, king size just $69.98. You'll also get 60% off the original My Slippers. So call 800-315-0584, 800-315-0584, or go to MyPillow.com, promo code JERSEY.
Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app, New Jersey. Chime time is 11:08. It's the Dennis and Judy show. I'm Dennis Malloy. That's Judy Franco.
Sound like you're on some sort of drug, mister.
Yes. I'm high on the drug called Life in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. No, you wish you could get high enough to obliterate life in New Jersey.
Now, listen. We joke, we criticize, we complain. Go live in Idaho for a couple of weeks, or although Idaho is very nice.
Yeah, I know, Dennis. I'm sorry, but this argument is not going to hold water because I just came back from Florida, where the property taxes are some of the highest in the country and still half
forget
the price of ours.
Forget that. Was life good?
Where?
In Florida. I mean, the things were convenient. Things were happy. Things were okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't just go on property taxes. You go on the quality of life in
You
general.
can't just go on property taxes. But, Dennis, you know what? One day, Dennis.
Yes.
We're going to ask people like, well, we've done this before, but I always think it's interesting. Like, if you got out of here tomorrow, where would you go? You know?
We're not asking them now.
No. But I want to ask that question because it's too many people have gone to Florida. So now you got to close the border of Florida.
All right, stop the discussion. We'll do it tomorrow.
We'll do it another day.
Yeah. This is from my hometown, Judy, in Evesham.
My hometown. Why don't you put the song on while you speak?
Well, it's no longer my hometown.
My hometown. I feel like your hometown is the town you came from.
Sound like death. Well, no, South Philly, Delran, Evesham, but this is Evesham where I raised my kids.
Isn't that always hometown?
What? Where you raised your kids?
No, like your hometown always remains your hometown. That's not your hometown. Delran's your hometown, but like,
Right.
or whatever, South Philly's your hometown. That remains your hometown.
All right, I was a longtime resident of Evesham. My kids went through the school there. They were very happy with the school.
To Heroin High?
Heroin High, after it was no longer Heroin High. Thank God. An elementary school principal there in Evesham, earning a six-figure salary, which, by the way, in New Jersey anymore is like $15 an hour. Six-figure salary doesn't get you on an easy street anymore here. She is charged with stealing cash from the school's front office. Shut the front door. Well, if they did, she wouldn't have gone to the cash box. Okay.
Oh.
I won't give her name. She's 46. She's from Hainesport. She's been with the school district for 25 years since she was a kid. She's the principal of Beeler Elementary in Marlton, where a lot of my son's and kids' friends went to, where she earns a salary of $148,000, according to state pension records. All right. Police say that the Evesham Township School District reported a theft at the school in late February. Somebody stole over $700 in cash from the school's main office. And you wonder, here's a respected principal, a mature woman, 46, young, but mature.
Right.
And why would you steal $700 from the cash box in the front office? By the way, what are they doing with $700 there? No wonder they
Yeah.
stopped me at the
Why
front
is
door.
there any money in the cash box in the front office?
Petty cash. I'll go get the kids some hoagies at Wawa for Hoagie Day. I don't know. Anyway, that is the big story in that school district now. You know, it will be forever. The kids will remember, our principal got arrested. She stole some money. There's always an incident at your school. Like when I was in high school, we had several. Kyle went to a rural school. It was out in the country. Kyle, are you there? Yeah. Was there an incident in your school?
Nothing too crazy. There was a thing going around, a teacher actually that had some sort of relationship with a student.
Yeah, that happened in my kids' high school too. Like it happened in my high school too. Well, back then though,
Yeah.
nobody went to prison. They actually got married.
Well, there was two incidents. One when I was in high school where the guy did end up resigning, I think, and then another one that happened just last year or the year before. So I was already graduated.
Right.
But teacher was doing bad things to a student. It was covered all over the news too, and he resigned, gone. His wife, who also worked there, resigned, gone.
They weren't arrested.
I think he was arrested.
When you say
they
doing
took
bad
him out
things,
of the school, I think, in handcuffs.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you say
Wow.
doing bad things. He was torturing the person.
No, it was just
He was
like
having sex with her.
it was sexual things, but over the phone, not like actually
Oh,
doing it in person.
so he was sending.
Yeah, I'll come in there and I'll show you, but we can look it up and read about it.
He was sending D-pics.
Not even that necessary. I mean, I think he might have done that, but it was I don't know how to really describe it. He was just he was creeping big time,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's being naughty.
being naughty.
Very naughty.
Would you like to see some naughty
Was he
pictures?
horny? God, let's not start this again.
You're making fun of sexual contact. Okay, relax,
Right,
people.
Right.
All right. So
right.
this woman.
without offering any.
What was the big incident at your school when you were growing up?
Funny?
Well, I'm sorry. I was thinking.
The guy who wrote before, you're making fun of drugs.
Right.
That's disgusting, making a joke about drugs without offering us any.
Gotcha.
You saw that?
Yes.
So I made the same joke. You making fun of sexual contact without offering us any.
Well, it could be naughty. So, what was the big incident at your school?
And it's a form. Oh, okay, yeah.
1-800.
The big incident.
1-800-283-1015. 1-800-283-1015.
Okay, so I went to two schools. That's why this is going to be so interesting. Two
At the
high
same
schools.
time?
No. 9th and 10th grade, I went to like a very stiff, proper finishing / prep school. It was $1 million a year. We all wore uniforms, the kilt, the whole 9 yards, white blouse. The boys wore ties, jackets. There, the biggest incident was like, during ballroom dancing, a guy asked a girl to dance like 15 minutes into the dance. I mean, this is like literally what it was. We had to take ballroom dancing. But I found out afterwards that there was a teacher there who was smoking weed with all the kids. He left in the middle of the year. I didn't know why. So apparently he had been fired because he was smoking pot with all the kids. Even today, that would be a big offense.
Yeah.
With it legal and everything. But imagine what that was back then. He was a very cool teacher. So now it makes sense. So that was the incident. Asbury Park High School, we need a week of shows.
For the incident.
People,
you have one that stands
I hate
out?
to say it, but like, I don't know, there were kids getting injured every day. There was a kid one year that passed away from drugs. A lot, 2 or 3 girls in my gym class were pregnant every year, and you had to wear the gym uniform. So I thought this was an incident. Apparently, it wasn't to anybody else. It was just like you got a note out of gym if you were pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking at our high school,
Yeah.
she was a senior, he was a junior. Their parents were both divorced. Her dad and his mom got together and married. So now they're stepbrother and stepsister in the same house.
We had this across the street from me.
Guess what happened?
Yeah, that was it. But we had 2 boys in the same class, and it was great because it was the time of that show, Drake and Josh. Remember, Dennis? And it was the same story. Drake and Josh was like our kids watched it. It was a 90s show.
Okay. And he got him pregnant?
No. I'm just saying, like, Drake and Josh was a show about 2 boys whose parents married, whose mother and father married. So they were best friends in school, and then they got to be brothers.
Right.
And this happened to my neighbor across the street, and it was so cool because they got to be brothers.
But you missed the point of the story.
Now, yours was a boy and a girl, and they got pregnant.
Yeah, well, she did.
Yeah.
And then she went away for a while, and everybody's like, where did
But why is that wrong? Oh, just because their age?
Yeah, they were young.
Like,
and,
if you're a
well, back then,
stepbrother-
when a girl got pregnant, you just sent her away. You didn't.
Right. See, not in Asbury Park High School. It's like you just gave her a bigger gym uniform.
Yeah. Wow.
Because you got out of gym.
Not at Holy
if you were,
Cross
like, in your
High School.
5th month.
Yeah, no.
But you could not get out of wearing a uniform.
All right, we have a couple of good stories. What was the big incident when you went to school? 1-800-283-1015. Al, Eddie, hang on. 1118. Here. Dennis and Judy Show, talking about the incident that happened when you were in school this week. The incident in Evesham was, I feel so bad for the lady, a principal at one of their elementary schools in Marlton. Evesham is also known as Marlton. Was accused of stealing $700, and then she's on leave now from the school. It's been with its district for 25 years, since she was right out of college. 46 years old. I'm not giving her name. If you want to look it up on our website, look it up. I just feel so bad for her.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, I don't know why making $150,000 a year, would you need to steal $700 from the front office cash box? I don't know what the whole story is. So anyway, we wish her luck.
Until then, we feel bad. Oh, I just want to say one more thing real quick, Dennis. Breaking news. You know, there's a huge, like...
Yeah, one of my
Facebook,
family members
Instagram,
had a Facebook problem this morning.
So
you were good. She tried to log on, said you're going too fast. She said, I've never been too fast on social media. Something's wrong.
Okay, so then we got a... and then I went on Instagram, which, of course, is the same company, same thing.
Right.
And then we got a memo from somebody within our company saying, by the way, everybody knows there's this outage. But it just freaked me out because I thought to myself... Like, imagine if it went on and on, how many people's lives would be destroyed. The people who live and die for Facebook and Instagram and all the other things, Twitter, whatnot. I guess they don't own Twitter anymore, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay, we got to do this as a topic next hour.
100%.
I'm hoping it's the Chinese and they've destroyed it.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
But would it be great for you or would it be horrible for you?
I mean, it would be unbelievable. I would feel that somebody took a big old, what do you think, that thing that cuts chains?
Bolt cutter.
Bolt cutter, and took a 200-pound ball off my leg.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll talk about that next hour. We'll follow the story.
By that, I mean you.
Right. We're following the story, Facebook and Instagram, some sort of outage. Was it a hack? We don't know. We're following it, and we'll give you any updates, and maybe we'll open it up for discussion at noon. Right now, we're talking about the incident that happened while you were going to school or at your school. Al's in Tom's River. Hey, Al.
Hey, how are you guys?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good, working today. But anyway, so my story, when I went to middle school or grade school, 6th grade, I went to West Dover Elementary, which is in Tom's River, right by Ciba-Geigy Power Plant.
Right.
And I'll never forget, when they had the barrels leaking through the soil of all the waste.
That's right.
At Ciba-Geigy. We were out of school for 2 months. It was insane. I mean, we were happy as kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? We didn't go to school, but it was terrible. There was cancer clusters everywhere.
Yeah, that was 25 years ago. I remember that Tom's River cancer. Yeah.
Yes.
Cancer cluster in Tom's River was like the big story in the state for years. All right.
Years. And it started right there, right at Ciba-Geigy.
And
I'll never forget it.
Don't say Ciba-Geigy again. It freaks me out.
It's a bad name.
It's a bad word. Ciba-Geigy. So, Al, back then there was no remote learning. You guys just had off?
That's it. That was it. There was no computers, online FaceTime stuff.
Right.
It was just go home. We'll call you when it's cleared.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Al. That's a good one.
Ciba-Geigy.
Stop it.
Ciba-Geigy. By the way, you're disgusting because, as you know, that is the name of my last grandchild.
I don't doubt it.
First name Ciba, middle name Geigy.
Eddie is in Jackson. Eddie, hi.
Hey, how's it going, Dennis and Judy?
We're great. How are you, Ed?
Good. My story is when I was in 7th grade, we had a teacher, her name was Miss Johnson, and she had a bottle of vodka in the drawer. And when she gave us a test, she said, if I catch you cheating, I'm going to kick the crap out of you. And she put her head down, and that was it.
Put her head down and died?
She would fall asleep.
Oh, okay. With a
real drunk.
Oh, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wonder where she is now. I'd like her number. Anyway.
Alcohol is Anonymous, maybe.
Yeah, wow. And back then, I guess it was easier to get away with that. Eddie, thank you. Appreciate the call. What was the incident in your school? 1-800-283-1015 is the phone number. Jill's in Peapack Gladstone. Hi, Jill.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So I went to high school in Piscataway, and we had an incident. We had grave diggers. 3 guys went and dug up a grave to get the handle off a coffin. One of the kids was a supposed warlock and needed the handle to do a spell.
As you do.
What? And who paid for the grave diggers?
I don't know. They dug. There was behind one of the kids' houses. There was an old grave, and they dug it up. They got caught. I forget. They got some sort of I don't know, sentence or something. I forget what they got exactly. But I know one of the kids was a headbanger and wore all T-shirts, like Metallica and all those kind of T-shirts to school. And the police came and confiscated his clothes. And then he didn't have any other clothes to wear, so the mother begged for shirts back.
Oh, my
crazy.
God. Crazy. All right, Jill, thank you for sharing that. I had one in high school and one in when I was in junior high, I guess they used to call it then, middle school.
Yeah.
The one in high school I'll save for next half hour, but middle school, I just moved to Delran. I was in 8th grade, and there was a big field behind the school.
You're not going to talk about the incident when you saw a girl with a hairy chest, right?
No, that was in the pool in the summer.
That was the incident.
This happened behind the school. When I got to school, this was a story that was circulating around the hallways. Mm-hmm. A guy grabbed a girl, molested her, possibly sexually assaulted her. She had an older brother or two, and they went after this guy. And it's true stories. I mentioned this on the air years ago, and a guy sent me the newspaper clipping.
He was tarred and feathered or something like that? They
tarred and feathered this guy and left him tied to the fence behind the school.
It's fantastic. It's the best story I've ever heard.
And I thought...
It's the way it should be.
And I was talking about it on the air wondering, was that urban legend or what? And somebody sent me the newspaper clipping from the Burlington County Times that this happened.
I remember you showed it to me, and both of us had the same reaction. The reaction was, that's so much better than calling the police on him and putting him in the system.
Right.
He will never touch a girl again after that.
All right. Alan, hang on. We'll talk to you next. A principal has been arrested in Evesham, where I sent all my kids to school, for stealing $700 from the front office. What was the incident in your school? Every school has one. 1-800-283-1015. It's 11:30. One of our astute listeners noticed that Rick Rickman said Travis Kelce retired yesterday when it was Jason Kelce that retired. I don't know if they misheard it or Rick misread it, but we know that it's Jason that retired. And by the way, if you and I ever retire, we'll just say thank you, goodbye. Why Jason needed 45 minutes to say he's leaving, but he's beloved and he's the good Kelce, so...
I was thinking of dragging out our retirement speech by reading one of our boss Sam's emails.
Well, that'll be a lot more than 45 minutes. All right, so what was the incident at your school? There was an incident this week in Evesham, Marlton, New Jersey, where all my kids went to school. The principal of one of the elementary schools apparently stole $700. And she's on an unrelated leave. And she's been there 25 years. She's 46.
And aren't there like 150 principals, by the way, too?
Well, that's one elementary. I don't know how many they have at the elementary. There was 12 assistant principals when my kids went to Cherokee. There was like 2 principals, one north, one south, and then there was 6 at each school. Because, they had to send out letters and stuff.
Yeah, of course. And count all the days that people took off.
Right, count all the pensions. I mean, count all the days.
Why is it so expensive here? I don't get it. I got a sister in Ohio. She pays like $300 a year. Why is it so expensive?
Go to Cherokee High School.
Yeah.
Ask to see one of the 12 assistant principals. Alan's in Flemington. I'm sorry, but I digress.
Oh.
Alan, hi.
Hi. I have an incident from my high school. This goes back about 50 years. I'm from, I was living then in Brooklyn, where I grew up.
Okay.
So it was one of the very big high schools. I think it was the biggest high school at that time in New York City. Anyway, we had, everybody had to go swimming. We had an indoor swimming pool, at least at that time. And during my sophomore year, you had to take swimming in lieu of phys ed. So it was, boys one period, maybe girls another period. We actually, at least the boys all swam naked, by the way, which was interesting.
What?
The boys, you had to take all your clothes off. There were no swim trunks.
Were you embarrassed?
I was I think I was about 14, 15. I was embarrassed, but you had no choice. You just had to do it.
Oh my God.
And then you take a shower, and then you go into the pool, and that's it. It was right in the middle of the day. It was a heated pool, so that was okay. But it was a big class, maybe 40 in the class. And, they teamed you up. You had a buddy. And then every so often during the hour or something of swimming, you would have a roll call. And you raise your hand with your buddy, 1, 2, 3, to make sure, that everything was okay. So we did that. It was a normal period. And we left, went on to the rest of the day. And during the day, we heard that there was a kid that never made it out of the pool. One of the high school kids. I think he had some type of a disability because he walked with a pretty bad limp. But still, he was okay enough, to take swimming. And I assume he had a buddy. I don't know what happened to his buddy. no one noticed. No one noticed that the kid had drowned in the pool.
Oh my God!
Wow, that is a big incident. But Alan, you said this is 50 years ago. You're talking about in the early 60s. You were in high school.
I was in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back then, and then you talked about naked boys in the pool. Nobody had swim trunks on. Do you remember any of your classmates being gay?
Oh no. In fact,
sure there were, but they didn't come out and talk about it.
No one came out and talked about it, and the embarrassment just was boys of 14, 15 taking
off the clothes. Yeah. Right. All right, Alan, thank you. Appreciate the call to New Jersey 101.5. I remember we had two kids in my class in high school, and then we knew that they were, we didn't know gay wasn't a thing.
We did too. We didn't know it was gay. We just said, this guy's like a little weird.
Well, it was
put
like
our finger on it.
soft or sissy or whatever.
Yeah.
But we didn't think the two of them would engage in physical activity with another guy.
No.
That doesn't happen.
If you did back then, you would vomit.
Yeah. That was,
We didn't know what we know today.
Right. Back in the 70s, like my daughter, they were in high school, and that was 15 years ago. They would have like a gay day where everybody, supported your gay classmates.
Right.
And she'd ask me, well, did you have this in your high school? I said, well, we didn't know what it was. It wasn't a thing.
Right.
Wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing.
All right. So in high school, my high school, went to Catholic high school. A friend of mine, who's now deceased, God rest his soul, was a great kid. His parents were fairly well off. His father was a captain in the Merchant Marines. And he flew a plane. He didn't have his own plane, but he had access to a plane. Yeah. And one Saturday afternoon, he and another classmate decided to take the plane up. He was allowed to take it up without the instructor. I guess we were 17. Maybe he was 18. He was a little bit older, senior year. Well, he buzzed the homecoming game.
That's the whole story?
Well, he, went real low during halftime.
Oh, but he was fine.
He was fine, but
because
the principal was irate and was about to call the FAA and, took the numbers off the plane. His mother happened to be volunteering that day at the school, at the hot dog stand or...
Oh, my God.
Begging the principal, that's my Russell, please don't report him.
You just reminded me when I went into 7th grade at William H. Crocker Junior High, Hillsborough, California. When I got there, I had come from a different school, and there were kids all talking about the Nelson family. So I didn't know them. But apparently over the summer, the Nelsons had a private plane. They used to go to Sun Valley to ski every year.
Wow.
And they had, over the summer, I guess they went to their winter house, and they came back and they all died in a plane crash. And one of them was in my grade. I didn't know. But I remember it must have happened right before school started because they had, which now that I think of it, was pretty modern of them, or pretty...
Of counselors?
Yeah. Like, did they...
Oh, it was California.
Right, California. We needed
California had
to get up in the morning.
Right. Yeah, in Jersey, they had Suck It Up, Buttercup.
Right.
Yeah.
But the whole Chris Nelson and the whole family, how sad.
Yeah, terrible. What was the incident at your school when you were a kid? 1-800-283-1015 is the phone number. Dennis Malloy here. I'm a foodie, and I've got to tell you about one of my favorite places, Fireside Grill and Bar in Marlboro. This is the perfect place to enjoy delicious food while catching all of your favorite sporting events. Brick oven pizzas, handcrafted burgers, wings, signature house-made sauces, and more. Yesterday, they brought ribs and pork belly and a couple of different pizzas. Oh, my God, it's so good. With more than 40 TVs in there, you'll never miss a minute of the action. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Happy hour, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Visit Fireside Grill and Bar. They're in Marlboro. Online, you'll find them at firesidegrillandbar.com. So a principal was arrested at a elementary school in Marlton for stealing $700. She's on an unrelated leave. She's been there 25 years. She's only 46 years old.
I feel like, not that I'm going to forgive anybody for stealing, but I feel like she had to have had like a really good reason.
Yeah, I'd love to know the backstory there.
Unless they find out she's been doing this for 30 years, like maybe I would give her a pass if she had a good excuse.
Well, what was the incident at your school? 1-800-283-1015. Earl is in Bloomsbury. Hi, Earl.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, I think I might have the most comedic incident that happened this morning.
Oh, good. Good.
So I grew up in Phillipsburg, and in 1996, our high school had a pretty good cheerleading squad. Like, they went into the competition down in Orlando and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that the hazing portion of the squad went for the freshmen was they were peeing on each other, and they got caught. And it made national news. I mean, Letterman made a joke about it, and we were the joke of the nation for about.
Wait! These are girls?
Yeah.
And what is Phillipsburg called for short?
Oh, we're the State Liners. Oh, P-Burg. Oh, yeah.
P-Burg, Dennis.
Yep.
Maybe it was just part of David Letterman's stupid cheerleader tricks.
I honestly don't remember the exact joke he made, but he definitely made one.
So those cheerleaders.
I got one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Those cheerleaders would be about 46, 47 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have one more that's pretty serious that you guys might be interested in. So 2 years prior to that, we had a gentleman go to a local KFC, which was near our high school, use the payphone, and call in 11 bomb scares in a row, 11 days in a row. And so they had us all out in the stadium, and they searched the whole place. I mean, each time they had to do this. And you know what that guy ended up getting when he got arrested? 1 year probation and like 75 hours community service. Imagine if he did that today.
And now he's in the New Jersey State Assembly right now. All right. Thank you, Earl. Great stories. Appreciate the call. Go to the KFC phone booth and call in a bomb scare. 11 days in a row. Hector is calling from East Brunswick. Hello, Hector.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up with you?
All right. So this was actually at my sister's high school at the time. I was still, I had one more year before I hit the high school, but she was there during the time where those kids had went to Great Adventures, and Great Adventures had burnt down, and that was pretty tough, for everyone.
Yeah.
You remember the Great Adventure thing that happened?
Of course, the big fire. What? So that was what, in the late 80s, early 90s?
84.
85. Wow.
84, 85. I'm not sure.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Frank and Kay Lane in Brooklyn. I was born and raised in East New York, and so much stuff always went on, but this one was really tough,
Yeah, that was.
People would get shot at and stabbed all the time, but this was really hard for everybody. A lot of people,
All right, thank you, Hector. Appreciate the call to New Jersey 101.5. You have family in from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, sure.
Why does everybody from Brooklyn call it Great Adventures?
I do not know.
Not adventures,
Always
it's adventures.
Yeah, it irks the hell out of me. Den, from the year it opened.
I know you find it irksome.
I hate them.
All right, well, we wish this principal from the grade school good luck in whatever happens moving forward. So I was looking up tarring and feathering, Judy. I could not find that story.
Somebody did send it to you.
They sent it to me. Send me a newspaper clipping on, remember microfiche?
Microfiche, yes.
They went to the library, looked up the Burlington County Times 1971, and they found it on microfilm and took a picture of it and sent it to me.
I remember it well.
So I looked up tarring, feathering, and there's 5 myths and facts about tarring and feathering.
Oh, I've got to hear these.
This myth is busted. The notion that hot tar caused severe, sometimes fatal burns is based on the assumption that tar meant asphalt we use on the roads, which is typically stored in liquid state of 300 degrees. But in the 18th century, tar meant pine tar. So, yeah, they would just cover your body with pine tar and then stick feathers on it.
Not as not
Not as hot. It
dramatic.
wouldn't scold you like.
And the great news is for the complete instructions on how to tar and feather somebody, it's coming up after the noon hour.
Oh, it's online for sure. And we'll have an update on the Facebook outage and the Instagram glitch. Too.
Yeah.
Don't go away.
If you're panicking about Facebook. Listen, are you one of the millions of American women and men of any age dealing with premature hair thinning and hair loss? Or maybe you're scared about inheriting that thinning look because it just runs in the family. Introducing Provia. This is an amazing solution that delivers on its promise without the harsh side effects, unwanted chemicals, and unpleasant smells. And by the way, developed by the same pharmacists that founded Genucel Skincare, so you know that it's quality and that it works. It works for men and women of any age, and it's safe on colored, treated, styled hair. Easy to use serum with clinical grade botanical extracts to work against the 3 main causes of hair thinning. This stuff works, and I love it. And right now, new customers who listen to me can get over 50% off Provia's introductory package with my special code. Go to proviahair.com/Judy. Every package includes a free 60-day supply of Provia serum for daily use, plus Provia 30 Super Concentrate for faster, more noticeable results. You guys, it's guaranteed or 100% of your money back, so you have nothing to lose. Provia works. See results for yourself right now. Don't wait. proviahair.com/Judy. proviahair.com/Judy.
Parks Casino and Sportsbook, New Jersey. Chime time is 12:09. It's the Dennis and Judy Show. I'm Dennis Malloy. That's Judy Franco. I hate rainy days. But hey, that's makes you appreciate the sunny days even more. Judy.
Yes.
I know we weren't scheduled to talk about this, but Kyle and I were just having a discussion off the air.
About
prostitution.
Okay.
I mentioned something to him about somebody who later became an escort. You can say hooker, prostitute, escort, whatever, call girl, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that's illegal, right? I was like, yeah, I don't think it should be, but it is. And he said, yeah, he's 24. I don't get why why it would be illegal for you to pay somebody to have sex.
Because it practically works that way anyway in life.
Right. You take a girl out to dinner. My daughter was telling me about this woman who did not pay for dinner for a year. She went on dates every night on these dating apps.
Right.
So she didn't have to pay for dinner at all.
That's amazing.
And because guys,
I want to go on that thing, Seeking Arrangements, which is like really basically just legalized prostitution.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who did
it's not
by the
legal.
way.
I guess it's legal. But here's my question. And like I said, I know we weren't set up to talk about this, but
it's fine.
Since
I like to really stick to the show preparation schedule, Dennis, but if you want to go rogue today, I'll go.
You'll allow it. Okay.
Yeah.
So weed was just made legal in New Jersey, and state by state by state, they're making it legal, right?
Right.
Half the states in the country, I don't know, a third. Mostly for tax money. They don't care about the freedom or the liberty or whatever. They just want the tax money. They can tax a product.
Okay.
Will they ever allow... Now, there's a small one. Nevada is legal, only Las Vegas it's not.
Right. You can't do it in the city.
But the rest of Nevada, you can have legalized prostitution.
I don't
legalized escort.
I'm not even sure. I think it might just be like in certain counties. I'm not sure.
We have a friend who's from Europe. You and I have a mutual friend. Her friend had a daughter who was a sex worker in Europe.
Okay. We do?
No, we have a friend. She has a friend from that country she's from that had a daughter who was a sex worker. And she's like, yeah, that's what she does.
Is it Amsterdam?
It was Germany or Austria.
Because I think in Amsterdam, that's like a big a big...
No, it's a big attraction to that one street where they're all in windows waving at you.
Yeah.
Would New Jersey be in favor of legalizing sex work?
Wait, let me say that again, because maybe you didn't understand my answer. Then they don't want anything to be legal.
But they legalized weed. But if they said, well, it would be set up, the state would tax it, and it would be, you'd get a regular salary, whatever that salary was, you'd pay into benefits and
I guess if it was like
they do in Europe, where they're just called sex workers.
Okay, well, we both think there's absolutely no reason why it should be illegal.
Right.
We think that it happens every day in relationships anyway. Phone number is 1-800-283-101.5. Dennis, I hearken back to my famous topic from back in the 90s.
Yes.
When this was actually something that I would do in my relationship with my husband. And it was called Sex for Boots. And Sex for Boots was, basically go into a store, shoe store, and a woman never has enough shoes or boots, right? So I see these expensive boots, and they were something that I did not have the money to pay for right then and there, but maybe he did. So I'd be like, oh, can I get these boots? And he'd be like, are you out of your mind? We're not buying these boots. They were, at the time, who knows how much.
Yeah, $300.
And I'm like,
I'll do this.
Come on. I'll do this. And then he'd be like, okay, you swear? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, right here? And I'm like, no. But when we get home. And then I would get the boots. And it was an exchange.
Right.
So am I not a sex worker getting goods for my services?
Well, that's within
whatever?
the sanctity of a marriage, Judy. But
Okay,
what about
but
two people who aren't
what if
married?
I'm just dating.
Yeah. I would love to hear the general, and especially from women, what your opinion would be on legalizing. I don't want prostitution sounds evil. Legalizing sex work. Legalizing sex for money.
Okay, 1-800-283-101.5. And if you have ever made a deal with your significant other for goods for services, an exchange of goods for services.
Or even somebody you worked with.
I've never done it, but
I need a ride to Atlantic City over the weekend. Oh, yeah? What will you do for me? I don't know. I don't have any money.
Yeah, nobody does that. Like to an Uber driver?
No. To you work with a guy, right? You need to go to Atlantic City. You don't have a car. And you go, hi, Jimmy, I got to go to Atlantic City.
Yeah, nobody does that.
Oh, okay. Says you. 1-800-283-1015 is the phone number.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why two consenting adults, like you said, you take them out for a lobster dinner and sometimes get nothing and sometimes you get something. Is there something wrong with it? And before someone asks me.
Just because it's not said in those words, like, I will buy you dinner.
If you sleep
which costs $150 if you sleep with me. It's not said in those words, but the implication is there.
Right. So I'm all for it. And before anyone asks me, how would you like if your daughter did that?
What? I don't even know what that person asked.
How would you like if your daughter did that? Of course I wouldn't. There's a lot of things I wouldn't like my daughter to do that are perfectly legal already. So don't ask the question. You're stupid. Let's talk to George, who has an opinion in Colonia. Hello, George.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Listen, I happen to agree with you guys. People are doing it every day, in relationships. What's the big deal? Getting paid for it. It's just another job.
They're in relationships, but if you're not in a relationship and it's a stranger who just wants $200.
So the difference you're saying is it's a relationship?
I'm just saying.
No, what do you mean? You and I are in a relationship.
Yes.
Right? We're friends for a long time. All of a sudden today I come to go down. By the way, I was just thinking, I'm short on the rent this month or whatever. If you could front me the $2,500 for my mortgage, I'll have sex with you later. How is that not prostitution?
How much later?
Just because no, but I'm saying just because we're in a relationship, it doesn't change it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking relationship like a husband and wife.
Yeah, but you and I are closer than husband and wife.
Yeah, sure.
But doesn't this happen every night at clubs? People hook up one night, sleep together, never see each other.
True. True, and no money's exchanged. Maybe some, germs are exchanged. George, I'm 1,000% with you. I don't understand why it's not allowed, and I think you would protect women more by getting pimps and hustlers out of the business and getting them off the street. You could do it legitimately from your own apartment, or what you have to register or whatever. It would be safer for women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, George. Appreciate the call to New Jersey 101.5.
Why don't you and I just do it?
Set up a brothel?
Yeah. But we won't trade actual money. We'll do like bananas.
Bananas.
And we'll find girls. I mean, listen, we got a plethora of attractive women listening to us right now who might want to do it.
Who have a real appetite for bananas.
They may. We've never. No, it's the guys that have to have the banana appetite.
Okay, I'm confused. But if any state would do it, I don't think New Jersey would be at the top of the list. California, maybe? Is there a line? I think it's a moral line that society is afraid to cross. Like weed, okay, we can do that. We collect tax money.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, did you ever think 50 years ago, when you were a kid, that one day it would be legal? It was just as crazy a thought, Dennis.
Even then? All right, let's go to Gigi. We'll talk to you next. And Chris, hang on. 1-800-283-1015 is the phone number. 12-9 Jersey. So in some European countries, it's legal and very common to be a sex worker. Would it ever be legal here? We legalized weed, which we never thought would happen. I think it's a moral line that people are afraid to cross. And I think the legislature, whoever would, there was a lot of pushback against the legislators who brought up the weed thing. But it benefits, people's health, and we're putting people in jail for a long time for no reason. There wouldn't be that kind of push for sex work to be legal. You wouldn't have the same social benefits.
Of course.
And
also,
I think women would be most against it. Legislators in New Jersey don't have the balls to even propose a temporary fix on pumping your own gas because women hate it. Bring it up in the conversation anywhere. Next time there's a gathering of men and women, women hate it with a passion. And our legislators are afraid to even bring that up. So I doubt they'll ever bring up legalized sex work.
Dennis, legalizing it in New Jersey, Jay says, would not work. The state would be a terrible pimp. And also, somebody else wrote in, Lee from Freehold, absolutely should be legal. Only problem, every time government gets a hold of something, they screw it up. 100%. That's the problem. You saw what happened with the marijuana. It's more confusing and more difficult now to get marijuana than just asking your kids, to get it from their friends in high school.
One of the arguments.
But my favorite comment, Dennis, is Pat in Bridgewater, who says, we can't pump our own gas. How will they allow us that pump?
Yeah. Like I said, the legislators are too afraid to even bring that up on a temporary basis because they're afraid of the female vote. I think the female vote might push back on this.
True.
The big benefit of it would be safer for women if they're involved in it because it'd be regulated. But then if you regulate it, you do have the state involved.
True.
If you just leave it to the private market, then that's where you run into danger for women. Gigi is in Manalapan. Hi, Gigi.
Hi.
How are you?
Anyway, very good. I was laughing when you were saying about the legalized, sex. But with my grandmother day and age, she really was so naive. She didn't even know that when she, married my grandfather, that what happens on the wedding night. And she was totally blown away. So as years went by, that was her last thing that she'd ever think of doing is having sex. So it was very hard on my grandfather. And as time passed, they had a housekeeper, and my grandmother would go from Brooklyn, see the housekeeper, say, "Listen, do this, do this, do this," and she'd go down to her summer house in Long Branch. And while she was away, she knew that this woman was in the house with my grandfather doing whatever, and he never bothered her every time she came back. So she figured it out that, she's the mistress there. But she didn't care because she didn't want to do it. So as years went by, my grandfather passed away, and, he had a bar in Brooklyn, so he knew, a lot of guys, girls, and all this. And, everybody knew that this woman was his mistress. But anyway, he dies, and at the funeral, this housekeeper is there, and my grandmother goes up to her and she says, "Harriet, I want to tell you, thank you for doing the things that I just didn't want to do."
Oh, my God.
And my aunt, her daughter...
And she said, "What, you mean the windows?"
And the funny thing was, my aunt says, "Mama, how could you say that to your people?" You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it was so funny. And my mother was laughing as she's coming out of the funeral. I said, "Mom, what are you laughing at? It's Grandpa's funeral." Just, you don't know what your aunt said.
Oh, my God, that's funny. Gigi, we got to run, but thank you very much for the call. And did you ever trade sex for services? I'm sure there's a story or two in there. Nicole in Monroe, you knew some girls who used to be sex workers, Nicole?
Yeah, hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, so I was in Florida for a little while, and I had a lot of friends that I worked with that they were like sex workers as like a second job, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
They would use this site called Backpage. And
What's it called?
it was a way... It was
Backpage.
Backpage. And it was a way for girls to meet clients and also for, like, the girls to talk to each other. So, like, if a guy was creepy or was violent, they would say, they would be like, "Don't talk, like, don't meet up with this guy." And in recent years, like, the legislation that passed, I think it was, like, a federal thing, they shut that website down and websites like that. So it's actually a lot more dangerous now.
Yeah, there was that woman that got killed in Boston. There was a guy. It was a common website. It wasn't Backpage. It was something, and he was known as it was like 20 years ago. Craigslist. He was the Craigslist killer in Boston. Women used to advertise for sex on Craigslist. This guy killed one of the women, and then everybody went to Backpage, and I remember they signed legislation to get rid of that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that people are going to do it anyway, and it's like for the safety of like the girls that it would be like easier to have some kind of platform.
Yeah,
Nicole, is this one of these?
Sex worker.
I was just going to say, you
married.
did it. You did it.
No, I've never done it. I just knew girls that would do it, and
Right.
like it would be concerned. It's like I was friendly with them. I worked with a few of them.
Right.
Whatever.
Do you still have their numbers?
Never done.
Shut up.
What?
I know.
Were they hot?
No.
Were they hot?
Yeah, they were hot. They're in their 20s. They're young. Like, so yeah, they were really pretty girls. Some of them were strippers.
That's Florida. How was life in Florida? That pretty much sums it up, right?
Sums it up. Yeah, I moved back to New Jersey.
All right, Nicole, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate the call to New Jersey 101.5. It's 12:31 now. Legalized prostitution, and that would
It
be,
is only one, right?
as far as I know, Nevada.
Hold on.
right?
Let me ask. Hey, Siri, where is prostitution legal in the United States? She says she doesn't have an answer for that. What does that mean?
I was probably programmed not to
Not to
touch
what?
not to touch certain subjects.
Hey, Siri, is prostitution legal anywhere in the United States?
Here's what I found.
I don't know how to respond to that.
What?
What?
Tell Mark Zuckerberg he's an idiot. How's that, Siri?
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Okay, wait a minute.
Take the filter off?
No. Is prostitution legal anywhere in the United States? And by the way, we didn't even talk about the big Facebook thing. Currently, Nevada is the only U.S. state to allow legal prostitution.
Well, our producer.
In addition, decriminalized in one other state.
New Hampshire.
Close.
Vermont.
Maine.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Decriminalized. What does that mean?
I guess it's like when you used to have one joint on you so you wouldn't go to jail for it.
Okay.
It was like decriminalized weed before it was legalized.
According to
Remember?
our producer, the whole Instagram, Facebook thing has been resolved.
Oh.
So that's why we got into this instead.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought you just were like dying to have like a sex worker come over.
No, but I was dying to talk about the Facebook thing because it was affecting people, but it's been resolved. So,
oh man, really?
Yeah. What we hear. Chris in Chester. Hello.
Yes, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so I would completely strongly disagree on the grounds that, one, it's abhorrent to God.
Okay, God has nothing to do with legality. There's premarital
Well,
sex.
it should. I mean, why would it not? I mean,
well, here's why, Chris. If you take a deep breath, open your mind a little. Premarital sex abhorrent to God as well, correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Perfectly legal. But if somebody needs to get their rent,
I think adultery is legal too.
Yeah.
It's not illegal.
Cheating on your wife or your husband. So, but if somebody is short on the rent and they say, "Listen, come over and I'll take care of you. I need $200," would God frown upon that?
Yes, absolutely.
But so eliminate the $200.
What if I'm married and I tell my husband, buy me some boots and I'll take care of you
He'd be
tonight.
fine because you're married. So,
yeah, but still, it's exchanging my body for money.
But you're within the confines of marriage.
1 second.
Yeah.
Is there a difference in marriage, Chris?
Yes.
I mean, that's morality. I mean, you're going into marriage, which I think would be okay. I think to a certain extent. I mean, obviously, that's not the way marriages should work. I mean, there should be, of course, give and take, and the husband should be able to have some way to kind of decide on those things and what's best for the marriage. If he's a man of God, then I don't know that he'd be willing to really be with somebody that's going to be.
Chris, know that we agree with you as far as God and religion and morality.
We're both religious people.
But when it comes to what's legal and what's not legal, that's a different matter.
Right. I'd like to add one more thing here.
Sure.
Yeah.
If possible, and that would be how easy you would be making the child sex trade, the child prostitution.
Again, quite wrong, because if it's regulated and above board, you eliminate that secrecy that you're forced to go underground with now. So if you have it above board, okay.
I would say that you'd have these are the rooms with the. Of course, with the women who are willing to do it, and then they would have some seedy back room back there. And how would anybody know? Just like what's happening in all these massage places, you would have no idea what's actually happening.
Did
behind the curtain.
Did teen marijuana use go up since they legalized marijuana?
I don't have statistics on that in front of me here. I don't know.
What we're saying is if you had a brothel that was legal and they were inspected once a week or whatever, you'd be less likely to have a lot of the seedy underground things that you're seeing now. You're saying it would still go on. All right, Chris, thank you, my friend. Appreciate the call to New Jersey 101.5.
Imagine if we legalized or we made illegal everything that the Bible says you can't do.
Yeah.
So then it would be illegal if you disrespected your parents.
Sure. Honor thy father.
You'd get
and mother.
arrested for not honoring them.
Right. And so and they would shut down DYFS because they're dishonoring mothers and fathers by entering their house and checking their fridge. Al's in Surf City. You said girls will be undateable after this. What do you mean, Al?
Well, first of all, in all years of doing this, have you ever started a conversation with somebody who used God as their authority and changed their mind when they start with God?
No,
but it was easy to make the point that
Dennis, you did make a point and shut him down about adultery, or whatever it was you said.
Premarital sex, and then you mentioned
Premarital
adultery. Yeah, but anyway, Al, what's your point?
So my point is this: I don't care. Make it legal. It doesn't matter to me.
Very good. Thanks for calling New Jersey 101.5.
Listen, I look at it from this point of view: an 18-year-old girl, a 20-year-old girl, a 21-year-old girl who is now looking at something that used to be considered socially unacceptable or illegal is now drawn into that environment at 20. Now she's 26, 27. She wants to get out and get into the dating world, start a family. She just cut her potential husband pool by 75, 80, 90%. And guys are having a hard enough time now trying to find, because my son is in that demographic, a nice traditional girl who wants to settle down. And now you just took yourself out of that pool for the rest of your life. Because I even asked Kyle, your producer, and he laughed. He goes, no way. Because I'd hang out with her, but she's not wife material.
Yeah, but you don't tell people that you did it.
You're going to go your whole life being a 7-8 year prostitute, meet a guy and start your relation, and then you go into the coin diner, and there's 3 customers that used to be your job.
You think that no woman right now is married to a man who doesn't know she used to turn tricks?
Not in that context, in that big of an environment. It's like, I look at it from a girl's point of view, is the 18-year-old who gets the tramp stamp and thinks it's cool at 18, and then when she's 30, she's like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point. Excellent point. Albert, thank you. We got to run. Appreciate the call. Yeah,
I feel like there are so few. And Al, one thing I can really sympathize with him is there's so few married kind anymore.
Yeah.
Male and female.
Jeremiah, Anthony, Christina, hang on. 1-800-283-1015. 1245, fast traffic in your call coming up. Dennis Malloy here for Brightview Senior Living. They offer a variety of vibrant senior living communities. Residents can enjoy true independent living while relaxing with friends at happy hour, enjoying chef-prepared delicious meals, and more. They also have been recognized by U.S. News and World Report for the best independent living, best assisted living, and best memory care in 2023. Get peace of mind with Brightview Senior Living. See which New Jersey community is right for you by visiting brightviewNewJersey.com. So we're wondering out loud if New Jersey and other states legalized weed, which one never would have thought of a generation ago. Would they legalize prostitution, the oldest profession in the world? Other countries have done it. At least one state has done it. Is that possible? And what would be wrong with that? And Al brought up some good reasons why he thinks it would be wrong. But it kind of happens all the time, sometimes in exchange for goods, services, money, and or nothing. Jeremiah, Morristown, hi.
Hey, how you doing? I'm sure you guys have heard plenty about God and the problems there, morals. I'm going to take it a different way.
Okay.
Talk about the unity of the country, and when you have prostitution legalized, it's going to decline of marriage, lots of individualism, hedonism. We're at a problem in our country where there's not a great deal of unity, and prostitution is just going to be, that's an attack on the family. That's unifying things of the country that's going to it's going to create a weaker country.
I don't see how it's an attack on the family. The same amount of people would do it legally as do it illegally because it's easy to do.
Rather than cheat with an affair and you have another person involved, you may have to leave your family, your wife. You've got somebody you pay a certain amount to, and every once in a while they scratch your itch. That doesn't break up the family.
It's the same thing with gay marriage. I was always like, how does gay marriage break up the family? Somebody's going to stay with another person for 35 years unmarried, the same way they will if they're legally married. How does that
that's
affect?
Not how gay culture works at all. But
how does that? I'm sorry. How does that? Are you gay?
No.
But
Okay,
Judy,
tell me how gay
please,
culture works.
let someone half your age with half the life experience explain
Right.
to you. Please go ahead, Jeremiah.
So when they legalized marijuana, do you think that decreased the use of marijuana? Do you think that made people not, they're not going out and seeking substances for their
No.
problems?
Of course not.
Okay, so how would legalizing prostitution Now, how is that encouraging virtue in society? How is that
I said that legalizing marijuana did not create more weed smokers. So why would legalizing prostitution create more prostitutes?
Okay. Well, it would be the thing is, does the government have a say in what two consenting adults do within the privacy of their own
home? And how
home?
does gay culture work? I need to hear this from you, Jeremiah. People who are gay, who have a proclivity for monogamous relationships, will stay together whether it's legal or not. People who are gay, who have a proclivity for being promiscuous, will be promiscuous whether gay marriage is legal or not.
And you
don't know a lot of gay people if you don't know that to be true.
The level of promiscuity in gay culture is well known.
100%. How does it change that if somebody is more likely to have a monogamous relationship than if they are not?
Well, now
how
we're
does
on to gay
legalizing gay marriage?
What?
I'm sorry, he's not being realistic.
All right, Jeremiah, we got to run because we're out of time, but thank you very much for the
People
comments.
don't do things more.
I know what you're
things are
saying,
legal.
but we were drifting into a whole other topic. But
he's
to
an
make your
idiot.
point, yeah, well,
No, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. He's a 34-year-old inexperienced person and doesn't realize that I'm also a very religious person who has probably some of the same moral codes that he does.
Right.
It's just to be realistic. Making something legal does not make it more attractive to somebody. And as a matter of fact, quite the opposite. Making something illegal
doesn't make it
makes
go away.
More attractive.
Yeah, and doesn't make it go away.
It doesn't make it go away.
All right, listen, we're going to continue this if you like. If there's still callers that want to hang on or jump in, you will continue this into the next hour. But don't leave money on the table if you are ready to sell your home. Robert Dukansky of RE/MAX First Advantage can get your home sold fast and for more money than you thought possible.
Greg was looking to downsize from his Piscataway home so he could move to southern New Jersey, be closer to his daughter. The decision he made to go with Rob Dukansky and his team sure proved to be a good one. Right, Dan?
After just 2 weeks on the market and a whopping 46 showings, multiple offers resulted $55,000 above the list price. I guarantee you, you too will have an amazing home selling experience with the Dukansky team. And that's because Rob guarantees to sell your home. Guarantees. For more details, just visit robsellsnj.com.
Rob's multi-million-dollar marketing strategy and experience negotiating attracts the best offer from the most qualified buyers. So call the agent we would call if we were going to sell our homes. Robert Dukansky, 855-350-1015, 855-350-1015. Or, of course, you can go online to robsellsnj.com or just Google Rob Sells NJ and start packing.
Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app, New Jersey. Chime time, 109. Dennis and Judy Shaw. I'm Dennis Malloy. That's Judy Franco.
Yo. What's up?
So I have a family member who's had a Facebook page but hasn't been on it in years, but just started a business of sorts and look to reactivate it to get some more business.
Okay.
I went on this morning and said, you can't get on because you're moving too fast. She doesn't move very fast when it comes to social media. So I thought, well, that's odd. And then found out there was some sort of outage or glitch with Facebook and Instagram.
I mean, I go on Instagram every day.
Instagram
every day. But isn't it the same people?
I think it is. I don't care.
Oh, neither do I. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I do care, but not because of my own Instagram account. It's because of the people I follow that I'm interested in. Like, I'm not one of these people that checks, do I have any more followers today? I promise I don't care about that. I'm one of these people the people I'm following, like the cooking accounts and watching people bake and roll the bread and all these things like that I got addicted to watching. Those things I want to see every day. So I do love Instagram. Facebook, I'm not even on Facebook. I don't even know how, I was in 2009. But there are people who were writing us this morning going, Oh no, what do we do? You guys are we go on your Facebook page. We don't have it. Social media, we're not on Instagram. You guys talk about the big Facebook shutdown. And I didn't know it was a thing until I started seeing people writing us on the app chat. People were emailing us. Then our own company sent a memo through our big Microsoft program that we're all supposed to be on. Like, people we know, we're off of Facebook. So you realize that social media is a big thing for this company. Well, it is for every company.
Yeah.
So we wanted to know, would you be happy? And all I kept thinking in the back of my mind is like, please, Lord, let it be that China hacked it and there's not going to be any Instagram and Facebook anymore, so that I don't have to worry about Instagram anymore. Because there's a part of me that would love for it to go away, because it is a big time suck. Would you be happy or sad if social media completely went away? Today I started thinking in the back of my mind, maybe it's over. Maybe we're all going to be
free
removed from free again. 1-800-283-101.5 is our phone number. There were people writing in who looked like they were in sheer panic. And there were also people who probably, like me, were going, maybe it's going to be gone now. Maybe I don't have to worry about this anymore. Because for a lot of people, yes, they're a prisoner of it. 1-800-283-101.5. So maybe you belong to that club that would be happy if social media went away. Maybe you belong to the club that would be really upset about it. So how do you use social media? And is it important enough to you that you'd be upset if it went away? 1-800-283-101.5 is our number.
I get it. If you're in business, you must be on social media. Facebook, Instagram is everything. It helps. If you're not in business, like you said before, Judy, it's a huge time suck, and I don't know why you do it or how why you would do that. It's a window. You're watching other people's lives, I guess, and you're watching little clips of entertainment. And,
a lot of it, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of that. All of it.
It's the world in your hand. If I have I always like to use the internet and any social media or any site as a tool. If I need information on something, then I use it. But if I don't, I'm easily amused by, there's a game I play on my phone, which I find I'm addicted to, and that eats a lot of time. But if I have downtime, it takes my mind off whatever worries I have, and it's a good exercise.
I think that's what this does. So I'm just going through my Instagram feed because I'm trying to see if there's anything in this that would interest you. So my friend has a, cooking thing, and every day she makes beautiful things. She's from Mexico, so she always makes this Mexican food.
I would watch a recipe.
And I'm watching the KitchenAid go, and I'm watching her roll the balls of the conchas and pan dulce and all. And I'm like, this is pretty. This is relaxing. Then another girl is making jewelry.
No.
Then there's some lady who's straightening her own hair with keratin. Not that obviously is not interesting to you. Then there's a website, Humans of Judaism, shows you different people you didn't know were Jewish. Look at this. Before Marcel Marceau became a world famous mime, he was responsible for saving the lives of Jewish children during World War II. I would never have known that.
Wow. Well, luckily, with this topic, Judy, fortunately, we have an expert in the in this area of sociology, I guess you'd call it. We're privileged and pleased to have Dr. Farkas McLovin from Colts Neck.
The expert on everything. Yeah. Hello, Dr. McLovin. Welcome to the program.
I'm very glad you're talking about this topic. And, Dennis, this is why you're an esteemed member of the board, for talking about the hard things, right?
Right.
And as we've discussed in our board meetings, social media going away would be a great thing. It's not only a time suck, it's the source of, misinformation, fake news, peer pressure, bullying, all the things that are a problem. And if a business owner calls up this hour and says, oh, it would destroy my business, we're not talking about some people lose it, some people keep it. We go back in time to where businesses had to be creative and survive without social media. It's a level playing field with a huge net benefit.
He's not wrong.
Right.
He's not wrong.
You'd go back to the yellow pages or, advertising on radio, TV, or online. You could advertise online without it being a social media platform.
Dan, I don't know. You know this, but a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
And Dennis, as you know, we because of HIPAA laws, we can't use it. So we're good.
Right, because...
Well, you guys are different. Your whole thing is different from the rest of the world. So, Dr. McLovin, stop trying to compare your life with the rest of ours.
I apologize, but Judy, you're an esteemed consultant to the board, too. Don't underplay your importance.
Really? Because I thought I was kicked out for not showing up to any of your stupid meetings.
Oh, Judy, why do you have to be like this today? This is not you. This is not you.
This is not you. You know what, Dr. McLovin? I don't even know you anymore. How about that?
I need to invest more in our relationship. I apologize.
Well, stop. Why don't you call more than once every 6 months?
I will. And I'll have to meet you guys again someday. Judy, we met. We did all right.
Did I? Wait, do I know it was you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
You're the one who said make sure I keep saying McLovin, Dr. Farkas.
Yes, doctor. Yes.
Farkas, I'll see you at the Institute later.
Farkas.
Thank you very much.
All right. Dr. Farkas McLovin of the McLovin Institute of Social
Yeah, I'm a big
Study.
fan of McLovin. Okay, so can you live without social media? 1-800-283-101.5.
And if you want to think a little broader and deeper, would society be better and your life be better or worse without social media?
Oh, so that's what I was telling you before, is my son-in-law built that beautiful business
Yes.
without social media. People kept coming up to him and saying, I'll do your Instagram. Really? You're going to double your business if you do Instagram. I do social media marketing. Let me do it for you. And he was like, yeah, I just really don't want to do it.
Can I ask a question regarding that?
Yeah.
He's dealing with a religious market, correct? I mean,
but every business.
But I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
Do the people who are religious, who go there because they keep kosher, do they have those accounts?
I mean, most of them do.
They do? Okay.
Most
I didn't know if it was restricted that you couldn't be
There
on.
is a group, there's a percentage of very religious Orthodox Jews who will not use social media.
Okay. But many do.
Yeah.
All
if
right.
not most.
So it would benefit him if he were on there and he said no.
Yeah. And even to the point where I don't see one business in Lakewood that is successful, I shouldn't say one. Very, very few businesses that are successful that appeal to the Orthodox Jewish community are not on social media.
Most of them aren't, or most
of them are.
All right.
He wanted to see if he could do it without.
And he did. So Facebook and Instagram went down this morning. There was glitch, attack, whatever it was. Were you relieved or were you frightened? And the bigger question is, would the world be better or worse without social media? Don't be shy. 1-800-283-1015-19. Dennis and Judy Show. Talking about Facebook and Instagram going down today, temporarily. They're back. It's all good. It's all fixed. You can be relieved. Was there a part of you who was like, oh, thank God that thing's dead? Or were you panicking? Would the world and your life be better without social media? Or it's just part of our lives and you need it? Anthony of Philadelphia, who likes to chime in on everything from prostitution to social media, is on with us. Judy, say hello.
Hello, Anthony. How are you, darling?
Good afternoon, you undocumented sex workers who don't pay taxes but use your proceeds to fund everything that hates melanin. I love you guys.
I think this is a compliment. I just want to say thank you.
Everything that hates melanin. All right. Anthony, how are you?
By the way, did I tell you I'm losing melanin?
How are you
Do you guys
losing?
know I'm losing melanin?
How are you losing melanin?
I don't know. I went to the doctor. I'm like, I didn't go for this, but last time I was at the doctor, I was like, dude, I used to get like tan in the sun. Then I started only burning in the sun.
Right.
Now, like, I get 0. And he's like, do you wear sunscreen?
Well,
I'm like, yeah. What?
There are other ways to get melanin in you, you know?
Oh, really? Wait, hang on. Let me get your home number. We'll talk about it often.
All right, Anthony, what do you have to say about social media?
I happen to love social media, Instagram, Facebook. Have nothing but good experiences. I post relationship stuff on my story every day. It's a big hit. So
It's a big hit. Whoa.
Oh.
I'm glad that you and Shanae are happily married. I'm happy for you as a human being, as a friend.
Yes.
Who do you get good reactions from on social media, online?
My friends who that I'm friends with on Facebook and also in real life, they look forward for those messages that I put up.
Like what? What kind of message? You have a picture of you and Shanae snuggling?
No. Well, this one is a guy I follow on TikTok, and I use his messages because he thinks just as I do. About relationships, about men and women interacting and things. And a lot of my single friends, they love it, they follow it, and everything is positive on my end. So, and you get to reach people who you don't speak to on a regular basis. You find out what they're doing.
Yeah, all my siblings are into it. Not all. My brothers are. I don't know if my sister's that active. I think it's weird. I don't want to know what my friend Steve in Florida is doing today or yesterday, or how his marriage is.
What then? There's some people, maybe not you, but there's some people that want to know what Steve's doing, who like Steve. They can't see Steve every day.
I want to text Steve right now.
I know what he's doing. He's drinking. Forget about Steve.
Blocked
Get somebody else.
Steve blocked you.
No, Steve blocked me. Steve didn't block me. Okay, Steve.
But it's social media is another avenue.
Steve, what are you doing? Social. Question mark. I just texted him. Talk to text. And he listens to the show on demand, so he'll hear this.
Does he?
Yeah, he'll hear this tonight. Unless he's listening now. Probably.
I get to see Judy every day through Instagram.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I now have to look pretty on Instagram because I know Anthony's watching.
Jeez. All right. So, and Anthony, you're a very positive person, a good person, and it's a positive for you, and you feel like you spread positive vibes by being on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
So,
good.
Anthony, let me ask you: since you started following me on Instagram, do you think I need a little more melanin in me?
Absolutely. Let me
Good Lord. This is. By the way, I'm going to interrupt this.
No, slow down, then. Stop the heat. Judy, let me tell you something right now. The best way to get melanin up in you, never mind. We'll talk.
All right.
Stop it.
I interrupt this unholy moment to bring you a Steve update.
I'm just saying I don't get tan anymore.
All right,
I
well,
lost melanin.
talk to your
You
doctor.
turned it into something sorted.
Me?
Well,
Me, him. He did. All right, I Steve is golfing. He writes back, golfing, what's up? You should come down here and visit. It's simple. Okay.
Is he golfing with Fat Stevie Burns?
No, Fat Stevie Burns is golfing with my brother in North Carolina.
Oh, right.
And I'm up here in the cold talking on the phone with Mr. Melanin and Mrs. Lack of Melanin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Melanin.
Now, you reached out to Steve and said, yo, man, come play some golf with us. Look at that. That's what friends do.
That's right.
Right. They don't look at each other on social media and go, oh, I wish I had his house.
Yeah, we do.
It's another venue
to communicate.
Share with your friends. Correct.
All right.
And if you got the right circle, you won't have any issues. Like I don't have any issues.
All right. Good.
Like, how would Anthony know that I'm lacking melanin unless he saw me on Instagram?
All right, listen, we got to go. This is
Love you.
Love you more.
Anthony.
Love you first.
See you later.
Loved you first.
All right.
It's a contest. 1-800-283-101.5 is our phone number. Big panic across the USA when Facebook and Instagram were out today. And we just thought, do people really care that much? Yeah, they do. Have you been able to live without social media? And would you be happy if it went away? As much as I love Instagram, Dennis, yes, I'd be happy if it went away.
All right.
It's a ball and chain.
It's 1:30.
Now the latest.
So we have a couple people that want to talk about this, but it's always like pulling teeth getting people to talk about social media. Am I right, Judy?
Yes, always. Sorry, my mic was off.
Yeah. So when
In
you're
fact,
on,
when
I
brought
want to
this
make
up-
a point.
Yeah.
When you're on Instagram, you're engaging in pleasuring yourself, right? You're it's sort of a mental, it's a form of masturbation almost. And I think that's why people are shy to talk about it. It's their private little mental masturbation. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Let's take calls.
Well, and that's why I was hesitant to talk about it, because a lot of people don't.
Why not? It almost went away today. It didn't went away permanently, but a corner of our minds are saying, please go away. And
I
with
think of it more. I mean, it does hit reward centers,
right?
Like other addictions do.
Mhm.
So I guess if somebody was like addicted to masturbating, then that would be a good analogy.
Okay.
But it's more like people who are addicted to sugar and just keep on eating ice cream, and even though they're full and they keep binging it. It's like that.
Yeah. All right. Would your life be better? Would the world be better if it
But then
went
again,
away?
maybe you're addicted to that other thing. I don't know. You've never talked about it on
I've
here.
only read about that in books, Judy. And at the Institute, Dr. Farkas McLovin did a study on it, and I read that, and that's what made me curious.
Okay, I hear that.
Natalie is in Freehold. Hello, Natalie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
How do I follow that? Oh my goodness. Hi. Well, I just wanted to say I really don't think me personally, my life would end if Facebook and Instagram went down, especially if you're using it just in a social aspect. So if you're on there looking for entertainment or to just share pictures of what you're doing in day-to-day life, or for family members, I would be fine. If it went down for an hour, 10 minutes a day, if it went away, there's going to be another social media platform that's going to pop up. But some of my friends who I think were very smart, that in, let's say, 2019, grew over the years either selling MLM products, that type of market sales, or just grew their following base and are monetizing their account. And the, Instagram going down, I definitely would have heart palpitations, because then the algorithm doesn't find you, or it can impact your income for that month. That's when I would get
right.
Yeah, it's funny. The algorithm is a funny thing. We write material for our website, and sometimes it gets, some of them get a lot of views and they blow up, and people are reading it all over the place. And sometimes 3 people read it, and
You could post the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's like, what happened? Well, the algorithm changed. Well, what? It's you're right. People depend on that algorithm to bring them clicks, customers, viewers, whatever. It's kind of a sick world, but it's the one we live in.
I don't know. I feel like I wish I could do it. I'm trying personally to grow late in the game on TikTok, and I don't even know. Everybody's trying to jump in and make money on social media now, because I think it's become a craze. It's become a thing. Everything costing more money, just another way to have an additional stream of income.
Exactly. It's almost as though if you don't do social media and you're struggling financially, you're being irresponsible.
Yeah.
At least try.
So, are you thinking of getting on TikTok for money?
Well, I started just, I was kind of thinking a little bit in the way you were. Like I was, private on Facebook, private on Instagram, just posting pictures for family. So it's taken me some time to get comfortable to put myself out there. But yes, I've been posting at least once a day on TikTok. And I feel like I missed the wave of doing fun dances, 3 years ago. It's become very
Tell us how we find you, Natalie, because just talking to us is gonna grow your following.
Yeah. And what do you do on there? What will we find on your TikTok account?
Well, I basically post relatable content or family-related content.
Okay.
I like to, I had a passion for acting back in the day, so I'll jump on and I'll do the trending dances and things like that.
Oh, cool.
You know, tastefully. And
tastefully? No, sorry, we're not interested.
Yeah, forget it. We're going to have to let you go if it's tasteful.
Natalie, what is the, where can they find you on TikTok? We want to grow your account.
Well, I initially linked under my name, Natalie Markovich Cortali, but I am at the real NC77.
At the
real
NC77.
Yes.
That would be the year of your birth? Yes.
Yes.
As opposed to all the fake NCs out there trying to imitate what you do.
There's a long story about that, and actually I may be changing it to CF Shows soon because I'm looking at, that would be CFSHOWZ, because we originally had a whole family plan of doing something together, but it turned out to be mostly me.
All right, Natalie, what is it again?
To find me right now, it's at PHEREALNC77.
Very good.
Great.
All right, Natalie, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. And just so you know, Dennis, this is the first time in so long the people have called and admitted this. We've got callers on here that are saying they were freaked out this morning. I cannot wait to talk to them.
All right, let's, which one? Lisa.
Lisa?
In Westfield. Was so
morning.
freaked out. Hi, you were freaked out about the blackout this morning.
Oh, my God, you have no idea. I literally didn't even have time to eat because I was so busy trying to get back on the account. I didn't know that there was an outage. So I couldn't get on my primary account. I couldn't get on my secondary account. And I do a lot of promoting of my small business via Facebook. I don't have a page because I just want to keep it, at a moderate level. But most of the customers that I get for my pet sitting business are when I advertise my business card or I answer somebody else's query for a pet sitter.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, so for her, it's like necessary. I forgot, Dennis, today's Super Tuesday.
Oh,
Did you realize that?
Yes, that's right.
So I thought maybe that was something that caused the
broke
problem,
it?
that so many people were on there.
How much do you charge for pet sitting? By the hour?
I charge by the day. I board in my home only one dog at a time.
Oh, okay.
And I charge $75 per day. I give them my undivided attention.
But if somebody wants you to walk the dog in the middle of the afternoon, you don't have a service for that?
I can't do that because I have another job Monday to Friday part-time.
Gotcha. All right. Very good. Good luck to you, Lisa. Thanks for the call to New Jersey 101.5. Wow. Fascinating. All right, Gina, Susan, hang on. Instagram and Facebook kind of went down this morning. Everybody's panicking. Will the world and your life be a better place with or without social media? Dennis Malloy here. And if you're thinking about giving your home's exterior a makeover, you got to check out B&B Siding and Roofing. It's a woman-owned business serving New Jersey for over 30 years. They've transformed more than 5,000 homes. They have style-guided experts, friendly consultants who will help you every step of the way in designing your dream exterior. They pride themselves on superior customer communication and quality work. They've got an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, which is rare. And they have a lifetime guarantee on their work. They have financing options available, and they back their work with that lifetime guarantee. There's no high-pressure sales tactics here. I know how important honesty and transparency is when it comes to finding the right company to work on your home. B&B Siding and Roofing are the real deal. Get started today online at bbsiding.com. So Facebook and Instagram were having a problem this morning, and people were melting down. Some. And a couple people
freaking out.
Secretly thought this would be nice if it went away. I mean, it has.
I did think that.
It has caused many social problems in social media.
Remember when the divorce lawyer or some lawyer told you, was he a
half of his
divorce lawyer?
divorces come from Facebook.
But I think that was in the beginning.
It was in the
too,
beginning, yeah. But it's a lot of depression, bullying, kids, teens, suicide,
100%.
all that. But in some cases, it's very good to spread good deeds, good words, good vibes, or good for business. Would your life be better or worse without it? Gina's in Princeton. Hi, Gina.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's cold. It's 46, but it's really cold. But anyways,
I am fan of Instagram, and I'm not. You get just, attacked to it. And I want to just mention, Instagram is not that friendly if you make decent comments. For example, I made a comment like last year about Iranian leader, which is he's dictator, he's a killer. Immediately they took away my account.
100%.
Yeah, it's just,
You can't, by the way, if you say anything negative about Hamas or the Gaza or anything right now, you need to use symbols. You use the @ for Hamas, because if they see you on Instagram being negative about the terrorists that are Hamas,
right,
they will suspend your account or hide you deep within the algorithm. How about that?
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. It's a one-side company. I'm sorry to say it's liberal, 100%.
Well, and it goes against the word liberal, the meaning of the word liberal.
Right.
Today's progressives or leftists, whatever you want to call them, go against the term liberal.
I had so many nice memories, picture all gone. And you have to come back with different name, to make like new account. And also dealing with the Instagram is not like dealing with Amazon. If you don't like something, easily you go to Amazon desk or post office return. You have to go through to hell because you don't have nothing. It's just email. You have no phone numbers and nothing. And my third point is, but God bless, I don't know how these people, they making thousands and millions, being blogger, being, like influencer, how they could be survive. I know the Iranian girl, she came 10 years ago. She became makeup artist. Now she's talking about $6 million house in San Francisco. They make that much money from Instagram.
Wow. All right, Gina, thank you. Appreciate the call. If you have the right niche and the right target audience, you can do very, very well. Do we have to break here? Yeah. Real quick, Susan, I've got about 40 seconds. Can you sneak it in there? You would fall apart without social media is what it says here.
She's listening back to the radio.
All right. Susan is 67 from Princeton. She would fall apart without social media. Maybe she's picking up now. Wow. By the time she says, hello, we'll have to go. All right. Sorry, Susan. I wish we could get you on. Hello? We got to go. Maybe we'll do a thing on cursive. The top line is Kyle writing, my name is Kyle. The bottom one is me writing, my name is Dennis.
Oh, my God.
That is what young people can't do with cursive writing today. And I have sloppy handwriting.
My son didn't even learn cursive.
Well, he didn't either. He said he maybe learned it in third grade. I thought it was an interesting exercise, but wow.
That's so funny.
Anyway, hey, listen, have you been thinking about adding a pet to the family? Well, my friends at Pet Center in Old Bridge know exactly how to match you with a perfect pet. They have a large selection of quality puppies from USDA licensed and inspected breeders. And when you bring home a Pet Center puppy, you get the most comprehensive guarantees in the market. Up-to-date vaccines, 5 generations of pedigree, and a complete homecoming kit. They're great animal people. Everybody works there is well-trained and really loves animals, and you will love it there, too. You can go there for a visit if you want. They also have a large selection of small animals, reptiles, birds, and tropical fish. Great place. Visit them in the shops at Old Bridge on Route 9 or check them out online, PetCenterNJ.com. Yudi?
This is very sad for me to leave the show today.
Why is so sad for you? You leave the show every day for this time.
Today, I don't know. It's very sad to me. I don't know. Don't ask me a question.
All right.
We had a good show today.
It was fun. And
we'll see you back here again tomorrow if you'll allow it.
Yes, please. And Dominski and Doyle are next. See, we promote the next show, unlike
some people who work here.
The day one guy in the morning. All right. Love you, Judy.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
This has been the Dennis and Judy Show on demand. Thanks to our sponsor, Value City NJ, with 9 locations in New Jersey, or online at ValueCityNJ.com. Don't forget to check out the latest news and opinions from Dennis and Judy on our free app or NJ1015.com.
New Jersey 101.5.